One. Hello, everybody. Aether Solora here with Pendragon Cosplay. Thank you for coming on here for an interview. Would you like to tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Of course. Well, as you said, I'm Pendragon Cosplay. I'm a cosplayer from the USA, but I also do voiceover work on the side. So I've been doing it for quite a few years now, and that's really all there is to me.
All right, and people are going to probably be wondering why you don't have video. Would you like to explain that? As I'm respecting the wishes of you not having it, but just to let them know.
I prefer doing video and cosplay for the most time, so I feel like video is a little distracting. So personally, I prefer doing voice interviews.
There we go. And that's why I keep the webcam for me as well during these interviews. This way, monitors over here. Just straight up. And then with that, I have the chat right here on the phone just to make sure in case anybody's like talking, communicating, just giving compliments or hush your mouth there. That's not cool. So as for your cosplay, and I didn't know about the voiceover stuff that you're doing, we'll get to that. But with your cosplay in life, how long ago can you remember when you first cosplayed? Was it because of Halloween, or how'd you get into it?
Yeah, I've been cosplaying since high school. I would say about 7 years ago was when I started. Um, I always enjoyed voiceover work. I always enjoyed doing theater throughout school. And when I saw that there was a way to potentially, make people's days and kind of make a living out of it,
Yeah.
I figured it would be worth a shot.
Okay.
I've done some photography here and there where I've done modeling and such. I always had big dreams growing up, so it was just basically on the same road that I was going.
Okay. And then how is your cosplay life with the voice acting that you're talking about? How's it all come together? How did you get into voice acting with voiceovers?
So voiceover work, I've always enjoyed anime growing up and different cartoons. I always had a passion for mimicry. So I always like to replicate the voices that I enjoyed hearing. Scooby Doo, I would try to impersonate Shaggy. Sonic the Hedgehog, I try to do Sonic. I always enjoyed doing that, and it ties together with cosplay because I've actually performed at little Christmas gatherings and at birthday parties as different characters. So being able to not only replicate how the character appears, but also giving them a voice, this brings them more to life for me.
Okay. And then type of works that you've done, are you able to actually tell the audience what you've actually done? And if not, that's fine because contracts or, copyrights can't really reveal
Right.
too much.
I don't have any NDAs, so I actually can disclose a lot of them. Some of them would be I've done some Undertale comic dubs, so I've done a few of them. I've done Sans, I've done Papyrus from Undertale, I've done Gaster, even though they don't have traditional voices.
Yeah.
Um, but I've also done some not machinima, but the studio says it's fan films, as they call them.
Machinima
Where
would
I animate.
technically be those, and I've done those as well. They're fun and they're interesting, honestly.
Yes, so I've done those ones many, many times. The most recent one I've actually been in came out about a month ago. It's called Oni, Oni, and I actually play five different characters in it.
We'll make sure to get that linked into the description so people can check them out. And later on, I'll make sure to make the post so people can follow that as well. And later on YouTube, hey guys, check them out. They're going somewhere.
Yeah, and I plan to actually audition for some anime studios, hopefully sometime in the summer this year.
Do we have
Um,
some juicy information on what those may be?
well, at Anime Central, there is a studio known as Bang Zoom that shows up every year.
Ooh.
And I'm hoping to audition for them because they do English dubs of a ton of different anime. I believe they did Sword Art Online. They did the third season, I believe, and there are a few others that they're working on. But I'm just trying to get my name out there because I have some connections already. So I'm just trying to see what exactly I need to do to get my foot in that door.
That's honestly, it goes hand in hand. And the best advice is always be kosher, I guess, in a way, about who you deal with in the industry. Be polite, courteous. That way, you know, there's no way somebody can say you've done this, or, you know, bad rep pops up. It's like, that's new to me. What? No, just no. And it's just, you know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes in the industries, which I understand. But it's just like, be kind and courteous to everybody out there in the world. Because you never know.
Yeah, I've had some directors that have actually just used my audition takes in their videos.
Yeah.
As the character, which throws me for a loop at first, but I still handle it respectfully. You know, I'm like, I don't feel like that was my best work. Do you mind if I redo it? Or if they say, no, it was perfect the way it was, I accept their judgment because, you know, it's the director's choice in doing it.
Right. And with your experiences, how long do you think you've been doing the voice stuff?
Semi-professionally, I would have been doing it since I was 19, and I'm 23 now, so about 4 years now.
There we go. And like me, I'm 30. I don't do voice acting as much anymore, but it's usually when you're that young, you really want to get those younger type voices out there, because when you get older, it's a little bit, oh, hey, I can't really do this. Or it's like, oh, hi, everyone. How y'all doing?
Yeah,
and that throws...
Nice that I can switch back and forth, though. They always say use it or lose it.
Yes, so I've heard that.
Keep your voices going, you're actually going to lose your range.
Right.
Same singing. You know, sometimes you can go up here, and other times you gotta go down here. So it all depends upon what range you gotta go with.
And they always say practice, 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 practice.
Exactly. Like any voices, especially character impersonations.
Yes.
They take plenty of times to be able to get them almost on the money.
Mastered in a way.
Yes.
And then with that, it's just, the older you do get, especially for the male voice actors, it's like, we're going to either keep that really nice, soft voice when we grow up, get older, and you know what, that's not going to be something that's going to be replicated to a lot of things. As to even say, you know, if you're focused more on a deeper voice, that high-pitched voice ain't going to be there anymore, I'll tell you that much. And if it is, all the practice. God, I love it, don't you?
For sure, yeah, because when I was younger, I wasn't able to impersonate people like Master Chief. But, you know, as I grow up, my voice matured, I'm able to expand it further. So I can almost do a Master Chief impression.
Oh, boy.
So, I kind of drop back and forth between them.
And I've actually been asked this in the past, but have you actually been asked, does karaoke help with the voice range, with singing and doing other things to help with your character voiceovers?
I actually believe that singing and voice acting go hand in hand. If you're practicing singing, it's a lot about your breath control. It's about your support, keeping proper posture, expressing emotion. Voice acting is the same thing. You don't want to be stagnant. So if you're doing any sort of karaoke and you go out and you're just standing there completely still, you're going to come out flat.
Yeah.
You're not going to come out confident.
Right.
Same goes with voice acting. If you're not moving in that booth, you're not doing it right.
Absolutely, and that's even when the hand, like, everything will matter of getting into the actual character. Even in video games, if you see them how they move, you'll actually see more of the voicing that goes into it, and it matches it so much better, where you're just like, oh, hey, how you doing? And it's like, oh, hey, you can see a difference just right there.
Exactly. And even if you see, like, the behind-the-scenes videos of people who do, like, Dragon Ball and such, they're always moving.
Oh, yeah.
They're always doing something.
You have
like
to.
Chuck, for instance, he's always getting into his character.
He's awesome, honestly. Met the guy, and it's so weird when at one time, a good friend of mine, Diane, Chuck already knew me. He gave me a happy birthday one year. She sent me because of, I couldn't go to the convention. It was work. It was just, and I got that. I'm like, oh my God, Chuck! I love you. And he was, in that time, it was just, there was a time many years ago when I first met him, and there was a whole little joke I heard of people I used to know or who I was with at the time. And I was like, hey, Chuck, you do Dr. Stein from, the
Yep.
certain anime. I was like, Oh, hey, Chuck, can you do a little thing of, there's no video of this anymore. If there is, oh my god, I need it. But it was, can you say in the Dr. Stein voice, hello, this is Dr. Stein, and welcome to the stripper chair show where he's just like, you know, he's in burlesque in his chair all the time, and he's just like, I hope you enjoy the show. It got him to laugh. He had to take like 3 takes because of how hilarious it was.
That's amazing.
But it's so interesting of all the people, all the faces that you meet in anime, cosplay, voice acting, vendors, even with modelers, photographers. There's so much interactions. What were some of the best interactions you had with people, just in general, over time?
Honestly, one of my first reactions was at my first convention. I met Eric Stewart, the voice of Seto Kaiba. And I cosplayed Kaiba. So I walked up to him as Kaiba, and he starts speaking, he goes, good job representing the franchise.
I love it!
The first Kaiba cosplayer he saw there. So he was like, that is great. And he signed my copy of Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. He signed the inside booklet. So I was like, that's awesome.
Dude. And then with some other voice actors, what would you say had good interactions with?
Definitely people like David Vincent, also Chuck Hubert, you know, always. So a few of them I've actually contacted, and I've said, hey, would you be interested in potentially giving me feedback about any of my voiceover work? And David Vincent, voice of Gilgamesh in Fate Zero, said yes. He said that if I do a Gilgamesh impersonation, he'll actually look at it and let me know his thoughts.
And most times,
it's pretty nice.
Would you say that even in their busy schedule, if they actually mean and say that they're going to do something, don't think they're not. 99.9% of the time, if they say they're going to do something, they stick to their word, regardless of how busy they are.
Unless something like really important comes up, I even get responses. Jeff Williams, the musician for Ruby, he responded to me. He went, "Oh, sorry, I just now saw your message from months ago. Here's my response to your message." You know, they're people. That's what we gotta remember. Like, even if they're celebrities, they're still human, like you and me.
Yeah. Even I'm trying to make sure to be on top of, like, even when I was getting. You know, I messaged you for the interview, is like, I'm trying to make sure to stay on top, and you already saw my response of how many people I was, like, messaging, but, like, ASCP, I'm getting back as quickly as possible.
Yes, for sure. And that's the best you can do, you know, as soon as possible. Yeah, your responses might take a while, but it's not like you're sending an automated response like a lot of people do.
No, and some people are telling me to do that, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Every message I send is from me, not copy and paste.
I feel like that means way more than just the same copy-pasted message being like, I'll get back to you.
Right, and
it's
as
like,
you
I wanted that, I would have got a voicemail.
Right, and at the same time, when I contacted you, how was the interaction with text, voice, anything? Could you explain to the audience? Because some people have been curious as, how do I actually contact and interact with these people? How did I approach you?
Well, it was a mix of casual and professional, you know? It was, hey, are you interested? I saw you were interested in this. Here's the rundown, pretty much. You know, asking if I had any questions, gathering necessary materials that you needed beforehand, anything that you really wanted to touch on, like how do you want to be identified? Are you okay with video? You know, you had a genuine, just personality about you, the way you contacted me.
I try to be a real person when approaching these people. This isn't, oh, hey, how are you doing? I don't know, but would you be interested in this?
Yeah, that's what I don't like, because 9 times out of 10, if you come up to me and you say, hi, I saw this, are you interested in this? And that's the whole interaction, odds are I'm not going to say yes.
Yeah, no.
Because it doesn't feel like a real reaction. It's like, okay, are you just copy-pasting this to everybody?
Yeah, no, every single person so far that I've contacted has been genuine and, hey, this is a legit actual thing. as to what I'm doing. And for people who don't have the time for a quick video, and I always give the option, do you have time for a voice and or video call real quick? I've got some time today, or, you know, right now I'm available. And if not, here's the whole, I'll text everything. And what shows more further proof, I'm like, here's an actual link to see the other people who have actually have done the interviews. Like, I'm not just pulling this out of, my wazoo and being like, oh, hey, I need some views. No, it's actually like I'm giving back to the community as much as I can right now.
Exactly. And that's what I really appreciate that you're doing. You're not just, oh, the interview is on my live stream, I'm not going to archive it or anything. It's like, no. You're actually taking the time to break it up and be like, okay, this time's devoted to this person's interview, this time's devoted to the next person. It's like you're getting to the point, and you're actually helping everyone in the long run.
Yeah. And as the best, would you say, what's the best way of getting straight to the point for the audience, especially if it comes down to the business aspect for any fields of work that you've been in? What's the best way of actually going about it?
So the best way to go about being direct is honesty. Just let them know what you're expecting, and ask them what they expect from you. Like, especially in the voiceover world. If you go in there and you just go, hi, I'm here for the audition, what do I do next?
Right.
That's a red flag right there. Or if a director tells you, all right, give me a voice. What's the character? Main character, he's a boy, go. It's like, if you have nothing to work with, you have nothing to work with.
Right. I need some details, please.
Exactly. So anytime you're in the voiceover world, they always have a brief description. They'll be like, protagonist, medium to low range, whatever kind of detail, and they'll give you the script. Always read your script first. Don't just go in there reading it blind, being like, I'm going to do great. No, you read your script, you practice it a couple times, and then you do your audition.
And
same with any form of interview.
And if you have experience from high school with theater, speech, even different language classes of clubs, help tremendously, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, for sure. I actually speak Spanish fluently. It was actually taught to me by my grandpa before I learned how to speak English.
So it would be, okay, can you respond? Okay. ¿Cómo estás, Harry?
Bien, ¿y usted?
Así, Well, I would respond in something like a no mames. Little things as culturally educating yourself is a huge bonus to your cosplay, to your voice acting, to your job. Would you say overall, just your education really comes down to helping you get far in life?
For sure. I would say that having experience is the most important part.
Absolutely.
Education leads to experience. So if you're learning something new, you're experiencing something new, and that's what's going to help you in the long run. You don't have to speak 20 languages. You don't have to go to every single acting class, but try things.
Yeah, experience the world instead of reading a book, I would say, but hey, literature's still important.
Yes, like you can read a book on improv all you want, but if you don't practice it, you're not going to know what to do when it comes down to it.
And also, would you say biting the bullet or biting your tongue is very necessary in situations in the field of work?
For sure. Sometimes it's better to say nothing at certain situations. Like, even if you just entirely disagree, you don't like what you're doing, you're just like, man, this voice could be a lot better. I don't know why the director picked this one. Or, oh, this is too difficult, but I don't want to tell the director that. Just bite the bullets. Do what comes to mind, but don't be afraid
to speak your mind.
Don't be afraid to speak your mind, and don't let the director, walk over you, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah. Make sure to keep that level of professionalism where you're voicing your concerns. So if you're like, hey, I'm a little sick today, I need the day off. 9 out of 10 times, if you got cast, you're fine. They're going to be like, okay, come back when you're better. We want you at 100%.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end, if you just come in, you're just like, I'm not feeling it. They're going to go, well, we have this other person who's interested in the job. Go ahead.
Absolutely. When they're very busy and they can't take risks, they're just like, okay.
Yeah, definitely have that honesty, but also have that sense of realism. Just understand it is a job in the long run. It is something that you might not agree with everything the director says.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's your director.
Right. And then from cosplay conventions that you've been to, what ones have you been to, and what were some of your favorites?
Let's see. I've been to Anime Central. I've been to Anime Milwaukee. I've been to DaishoCon. It's mostly like the Midwestern community ones.
Yeah. C2E2?
Wizard World was a good one. Yes, C2E2 and Wizard World were good ones for me.
I was going to say, we met at C2E2 once, and were you in your, was it Spider-Man at the time you were in?
Spider-Man. No, I did not dress up as Spider-Man. I was mostly going as anime characters.
Okay, I was like, wait a second. I know Harry. I've met him before. It's like the thousands on hundreds of thousands of people I meet throughout the year. When did I meet him?
I normally go as, my first one was Kirito. I've gone as Sun from Ruby. I've gone as Adam from Ruby.
That's right. I met you as Adam from Ruby at the time, because there wasn't many Adams out there.
For sure. He's not really a liked character, but I like playing the villain sometimes, so
oh yeah,
I kind of stepped outside of my comfort zone with that.
I mean, if you look at Ori, who cosplays, he'll cosplay characters that everybody detests, and honestly, he pulls on fantastic with his goofy personality too. He's done the first like main boss from Persona 5 that everybody hated and despised, and he's doing the whole like, I'm in my underwear at the king cave, how you doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, Ori!
Yeah, a lot of people love my villains for some reason. They love my Adam, they love my Gilgamesh from Fate. But I know the Adam Taurus one was really loved because I was in 2 cosplay music videos.
Ooh, very nice.
I actually incorporated a little speech that was all improv that's still in the first one I was in. I'll send you a link to that for sure.
We'll definitely get that in the description, and I will want to check that out later.
It was all improv. They said, hey, we got 30 seconds of dead time. We need you to say something. So I was like, okay, what would Adam say?
Right, and since we've got some time here now to move on to the photos here, we got the Kirito here that you did, that you're just leaning back. Everybody, you get to see what he actually looks like, in a sense. But yeah, what got you into Sword Art Online? What got you to want to cosplay Kirito? And how'd you come about getting the cosplay made and or purchased? I mean, I don't shame anybody for buying their stuff. It's just cosplay's fun. Enjoy it. Do what you want to do.
For sure. I don't normally have time to build my cosplays or to make them. I'm hoping to start making more time this year at least. But he was purchased, and what got me to Sword Art Online was when it premiered, I was just like, oh, cool, it's it's about a video game, all this stuff, just knowing the basic premise of it, and having read one of the light novels at the time, I was interested in it. I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And it ended up becoming one of my favorite anime of all time, Flaws and All.
Yeah, honestly, it's a good anime.
Yeah, it's great. Even though I know a lot of people don't like it due to just 1,000 different reasons under the sun.
Right.
But it's one that I've always found to be interesting, and one that I've always related in a way, because I was also that reclusive kid growing up playing video games, where I felt like I was more of a person in the game than outside the game.
Right, and we wish we could actually have more of the virtual realities these games and animes were showing. And have you ever looked into seeing about watching, reading, or playing the Dot Hack series?
I have actually watched the Dot Hack series.
And what series of the Dot Hack have you actually watched?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember which one. It was on DVD. I remember because my father had brought it to me when I was like...
You've got Dot Hack, you got the original Dot Hack anime Signs, you've got Dot Hack GU, you have... Oh my god, there's so many different Dot Hacks at this point.
I think it was GU.
The one where they're kids and stuff, mostly?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, where it's the brother and sister. Sister kind of likes her brother a little bit more. It's the Black Rose. Kite, dress up, orange with the big heavy blade.
Yes.
Yes, that's the GU one. Because those are based off of the Dot Hack PS2 games, which is a 4-part series long. Tell you that, cheat codes, please use them. So moving on to the next one, I've seen it. It's the blonde hair with the black trench coat, earrings. What is this cosplay? I feel stupid for not remembering. I've seen it. Who is the character?
So that's actually Gilgamesh from Fate. But that's from Fate Grand Order.
That
specifically is the New York City craft essence, which is one of the items within the mobile game. It's art that's based upon, if the cert was in New York. And he was one that I chose to cosplay just because I always liked Gilgamesh's character. He's such... You can never hate him, really.
You really can't. I was like, isn't Gilgamesh usually, like, wearing different clothing?
He's normally wearing golden armor.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I thought you were worthy of, like, being my rival or, like, being the king, but, like, you're showing me, no, sorry,
Yeah, I would say he's an anti-hero personally,
Yeah.
A lot of times he doesn't play the antagonistic role, but
yeah.
he has his moments of good, and I feel like he's just such a well-designed character.
And with the Fate Grand Series game as well, I've actually seen them at the big conventions, Anime Central, C2E2, Comic World, everything that you could think of, even PAX. Like this year, I think we've got PAX in Illinois. I think it's just regular PAX, but like their vendor booths, they'll be handing you an actual game guide because of how big this mobile game is that you're gonna need to know some stuff.
Oh yeah, it'll give you all the useful tips and everything, where to grind for what story connects to what story, what you can watch to help you out.
It's Fates. Come on, you kind of need a guide.
Exactly. It's kind of like in the Zelda universe. There's separate timelines and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And then moving on, we got your infamous, famous Ruby cosplay, Adam.
Yeah, that one was actually one of my first ones that I started bringing more consistently to conventions.
I've seen it.
Everyone loved him right away. I have no idea why exactly.
Because you were the only one. At that time, I think you were the only one.
That might have been it. I might have been the only one in the Midwestern community, I believe, who was cosplaying him.
And then...
a lot of people saw it and just... They were in love with him, I would go to panels and they could make all the Adam jokes at me.
Like,
so
Mr. Clout Chaser over here trying to get the kitty cat, go away.
Exactly. So it was pretty fun though. He was the one who I played in different cosplay music videos as well. So he's just always been a fan favorite.
Yeah. And honestly, it is fun to always see just the rare characters you never see. And with me, I don't really cosplay as well, but I'll bring some of the things into conventions where you're like this, who cosplays that? Or just like, you've seen the Colonel Sanders I've cosplayed before too, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, were you expecting that? No.
No, not at all.
And then going on to the next one here with the blonde hair, with the blue sash, teacup. Who's this that you're cosplaying?
That is Dimitri from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I did not play that one. I was very tempted, but at the time I was playing a different type of Fire Emblem-esque game for the 3DS. I can't remember what it was called.
It might have been Awakening?
Not Awakening. It was something that came out right before the Three Houses.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look it up. And I was talking about it the other day. Huh?
Yeah. I think I know which one you're talking about. But yeah, the Fire Emblem series is very popular.
Right, and just like, with this, what got you to want to cosplay him?
Well, Dimitri's a very interesting character because he starts off, rather innocent like most students do, because that's his student costume that I'm doing. And just, he takes a complete turn within the story. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's playing it new.
The game's been out for how long?
Quite a few years now. A couple of years now. 2 or 3 years. But, I still don't like to spoil for people. Just to understand latecomers.
It's awesome. That's all I'm going to say.
The duality of man. he has the duality of man. You know, he has the good side, the bad side, all depending upon the route you go.
Yeah.
And he was just interesting to me. He just kind of resonated with me, and I was like, you know what? I like his design. I like his personality. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. And then following up, we've got from Miraculous Ladybug, Cat Noir cosplay that you're doing here.
Yep, that one I actually bought the individual parts and actually worked on that one myself. That one was like, you know, I found black spandex suit. I found this cat ears online. I found the collapsible staff that caused many injuries to myself.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one that comes like right here, right in the face.
More like would go right across my skin and just was not good.
Oof, because it's that little thing. Everybody's like, no, this staff can't be real. And then everybody's like, oh my God, it is. And just to put it right back in, it's like you got to unravel it and just like...
Yeah, twist it, push it in, yep.
Yep, it's such a nice staff. But like if you're too rough with it, it'll break. It will break.
Oh, yeah. That's why I plan to get, you know, the collapsible one that you just swing to open.
Yeah.
The Nightwing one.
Yeah.
So that one I plan to do whenever I revamp him eventually. But yeah, I got the individual parts and I just kind of rolled with it and it worked out. The wig was individual, the contacts I found online. So
yeah, and then with him as well, when Miraculous Ladybug had been out already for so long, there was nobody making this cosplay, period, for anybody to buy. So you had to make it if you wanted to be him.
For sure, yeah. Otherwise, I had to get it custom made or I had to spend like $150 trying to get it like a regular cosplay.
Yeah.
So I think I spent maybe $35-$40 total on that cosplay.
Did you go to Spirit Halloween?
No, I did not actually. I went through Amazon.
Okay, there we go, guys. Amazon, check it out.
After delivery, so I was just going through some random stuff, and I was like, okay, this works, this works. Put it together, and just went for it.
There we go, honestly. And that's really dope to see, really. Just how much interesting ways of how to get a cosplay made or purchase whatever the actual story behind it is. Like, well, I ordered this off Amazon. Did you have any delays? Yeah, it was delayed. I tried going to a convention, getting it at last minute, and that was silly me. Now I'm disappointed. Stuff like that we hear a lot of.
For sure. It's a struggle to get cosplays at times, you know, whether you're custom making them or ordering them, but I don't see any shame in either one because at the end you're portraying the character.
Yeah. And would you say acting as the character would act brings the cosplay out so much better?
Yes, for sure, because even if someone doesn't recognize the character, if you embody who they are, they're going to go, oh, okay, so this one's a funny character. Oh, this guy's the villain. You know, you can kind of get a feel for the character. And then you're interested in the show, and it's kind of like free advertising.
It is, honestly. And, I mean, I'm not saying, like, that's the best way of cosplaying, but, like, in actuality, when we see people act the character, we remember that person. We remember that character.
Exactly. So when you remember the character, you see that person again, you're like, oh, you're the one who did this.
Yeah. And I think some cases where there's the very angry characters, not just Bakugo, but like German from Hitalia. There was one girl so many years ago acting as what Germany would act, like really angry, and everybody's like, what was their problem? And later on we found out, oh, that's why.
Yeah, that's the best part, because then you start doing research, you're like, this character description, who is this?
Right? I thought it was just a freak out if they were mad or they were sad, they were glad. I mean, don't go with like hacky sacking this character while they're down because they could come back and bite you in the butt.
Right?
It's so weird not to cuss. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just like, oh, substitute words. Arga, raga, rada, rada, rada. But yeah, moving on to other type of experiences that you've had, what type of conventions do you plan on actually attending this year?
So this year is kind of up in the air for me right now, but I kind of plan to go to ASIN. I'm hoping to go there again because that's just a good one to go to. I would love to go to KatsuCon next year.
Yeah, there's people right now there. I've got to interview those people later that are at the convention. I'm like, oh, this can be fun.
Yeah, that will be fun. I just plan to kind of I'm trying to broaden my horizons
Yeah.
and go to further away conventions, just kind of get my name out there.
Anime Iowa. A good, small, good convention. Not too small, not too big, but man, it is fun. If you like drinking too, excellent convention.
Yeah, those are always the fun ones for me. I like the ones that are, not huge where you're just overwhelmed, but not like this is it.
Oh, yeah, no. Some of those that are just so small where it's like there's not much to do. It's like, well, this is a one-day convention.
Yeah, oh yeah. Anime Magic actually did a really good job. They're a smaller convention, but they have stuff that takes up all 3 days, and you just have a blast.
For Anime Magic with John and Nick Santiago, they're good friends of mine. They're in the V is for Villains band. Met them, throughout the Midwest conventions, and swell guys. They got personal lives too, but they will take the time and don't fear them when they constantly look into your soul in a conversation of eye-to-eye contact. They're giving you the full attention that you deserve when they're talking to you.
Exactly. Yeah, they're very kind people. I had the pleasure of meeting them at the debut convention.
Yeah.
And it was a blast. That had to be one of my top conventions when I went through it.
I had to cancel going to their first one. I was going to staff for them. And it was just, financial situation. I can't come now. I had to say bye to my ticket, and I gave it to someone else, and I told them, hey, I've got somebody who's gonna have my badge. Just heads up, it's under such and such. Let them get the name changed, or let's get that fixed real quick for them. So yeah, no, it's just I always want to go to it, but it's just something always happens, and it's always at the worst time. Even if I save up my money, it's just something stops me from going. I really am like, I should just go and say screw it.
Yeah, I know that feeling for sure. But I remember one of my favorite things about the staff was that one of my friends had his badge stolen. Like something happened, I guess, at a rave, and it got off of him somehow, and someone walked off with it. He let security know. They replaced the badge for free.
Yeah.
They're really kind about, they're like, oh yeah, we understand, it happens. We'll be on the lookout though to see if we can find who did it.
Yeah.
But here's a badge for you because you're already here.
Yeah. Honestly, they are really awesome people.
For sure.
And then on top of that, with any social media businesses and charity, if you want to advertise any kind of discounts, promo stuff, I allow that in here. As if you want to advertise it yourself, it's free advertisement, honestly, in here, and I don't mind it.
Sure. Well, I'm not exactly a influencer yet, so I don't have any promo codes or anything, but I do have a coffee, KOFI, so that's the best place to support me on.
Okay.
I do offer prints, although currently I would have some difficulty get to the Walgreens or any sort of print store, but if you guys do want prints, just let me know. I can always ship them out. I can always find a way, and if I can't find a way, I'll let you know when I'll find a way.
He's got them feet pics, people. Go ahead and support him. Get them Cat Noir prints. Meow.
I take the ones from my shoots, unless someone covers a full cosplay kind of thing.
Yeah.
I normally take the ones from my shoots, and I go, okay, if this was self-shot, go ahead. If it was shot by a different photographer who I've worked with, I always ask that photographer. I'll say, hey, can I use this in my shop? Do you want a cut of it or anything?
Yeah.
So,
and I'll make sure to get any of those links in the description below for everybody to actually follow up on your social medias. You got Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram.
For sure, I have Instagram, Pendragon Cosplays. I have TikTok, which I don't use as often anymore, just because TikTok's kind of up and down.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Twitter I use here and there. I tend to forget I have it. And I did have a Facebook page, but I was just struggling to keep it updated. And I was like, I can't automate this. I don't have a moderator, so I kind of gave up on the Facebook one.
But for all the links...
I might make one if someone's interested, though.
Yeah, and I have to do it for this now because of how many people are like, hey, do you have this? Do you have a Facebook page? I'm like, I don't, but I guess I should make one.
Yeah, I know the feeling. That's how it was for me for TikTok. They're like, you should make a TikTok. I was like, All right.
I had to tell like the 20 to 30,000 fans that were following me on there. I'm like, guys, I'm done because TikTok likes to shadow ban cosplayers a lot, apparently.
Yep, that's exactly why. Or stuff will be taken down just because it got reported. It's like there was nothing breaking the rules.
Right? Oh, this is a fake knife. Ah, see, it bends. TikTok, see what I'm doing here? Ooh.
Yeah. Or Instagram has done it here and there too for a couple of my friends, and I'm just like,
Ouch.
really, guys? Like, who's mass reporting these? Like, who really has it out for cosplayers?
The ones that don't like the people, assumingly, is what it is at the end of the day.
For sure. I feel like it's just people trying to stir up drama, which I don't want any part in.
Right. And then any other type of social media links that you can actually give a shout out to that you think would be good on where you get your stuff, photographers, any of that?
Photographers, I did work with Felix Dandy before, FX Dandy. He is a very good photographer. Michael Chen is another good photographer. He normally goes by Buddha Chen, I believe.
Buddha Chen?
Buddha Chen, like Chen.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. Otherwise, other photographers, I can't remember off the top of my head. A lot of my stuff is self-shot or with like just a couple of friends of mine here and there. Just more on the casual side, just because I haven't had the time to do the professional style ones yet, because I am still a small cosplayer.
Yeah.
But aside from there, I don't really have any major shout-outs to do.
All right. And then other than that, guys, go ahead and follow up Pendragon Cosplay's social medias. Check them out. They'll be in the description below. We'll make sure to update them as they go as well. For anybody else that comes onto the interviews, if there's other links that needed to be added, I'll make sure personally that they get added in the future. We will eventually have the video on YouTube. It's just a slow process with the YouTube, but you can always find the stuff here on Twitch. That's why it's always saved on here first. And I'll back up everything, and you can follow my links down below and to YouTube, Twitch, and maybe soon a future Facebook page. Just saying. Woo! It's a one-man army over here. Let's go.
For sure. I get that feeling.
But other than that, Harry, thank you so much for coming on here as Pendragon Cosplay. Is that the preferred name that you would rather go by, or do you want people to call you by your actual name?
I prefer to go by Pendragon Cosplay.
All right, as I do with Aether Solora. I'm like, hey guys, if you want to know how to say it, it's like, hey there, but A there. Just because a lot of people don't remember my name, so it's like, oh, hey there, how you doing? What is your name? Oh, don't worry about it. But thank you so much for coming on here, my dude.
Of course, thank you for having me.
No problem. And other than that, guys, have a good day, and we'll see you in future streams. Go ahead and interact in the chats and all that other fun stuff, and probably stay tuned with some future giveaways as well from other people that I'm going to be interviewing in the future, and we'll make sure to actually include any information on where you can find his prints and all that other fun stuff that if you really want them, have a goodie.